Alrighty. Let's check the emails for the day. Not that one again. Please, not that one again, too. Is that really what that says? That can't be right. Is that really what that... No, no. All right. It's tinfoil hat time. Reynolds rep, not a sponsor. If you have a tinfoil hat, go get it, so that we can debunk these 5 meteorite myths that I wish would officially burn up upon re-entry into my inbox and my newsfeed. Let's do it quick before someone sees me wearing this. Meteorite myth number 1. Meteorites are radioactive. Heavens to Betsy, I think a meteorite just came through the roof and landed on the floor here. Oh, geez, Al. Well, don't touch it. It might be radioactive. Oh, well, good news. I have a meteorite collection and a Geiger counter, so we can test this. It's settling in right now onto its whatever its normal background range is, which anywhere between 5 and 50 is safe, no action needed. It takes a minute after you turn it on for it to kind of calibrate and get normal. So that's exactly what it's doing right now. And it's settling in there somewhere between 20 and 25. Again, that's normal. Anything between 50 and 99 would be medium, and anything over 100 would be high. So let's check the meteorite collection. Sure, meteorites have been floating around in space for billions of years, exposed to cosmic rays, but that doesn't make them dangerous or even particularly radioactive. So far, nothing radioactive. In fact, meteorites are just generally less radioactive than many Earth rocks. Let's open the case. Let's just put it in here. Let's just put it in here somewhere. Here, right here. Let's close the case. Especially compared to something as common as granite, which can contain trace amounts of uranium and thorium. It's in there with so many meteorites in a closed case with 100 meteorites, and it's actually lower in there than it is outside of the case. It's actually safer in there with the meteorites than it is out here without them. Never over 24 in there, which is normal background range for here. I actually do have something that could potentially be dangerous. It's almost double the spicy of background. Still isn't a lot, but definitely more than the meteorites. And that ain't nothing but a humble smoke detector. More dangerous than a meteorite. Myth busted. Myth busted. Let's call that one busted. Watching it come back down. Now that we stepped away from the smoke detector, put it back with the meteorites and just watch it come back down. Whole bunch of meteorites in there. Whole lot of not radioactive. Whole lot of not. Meteorite myth number 2. Meteorites are burning hot when they hit the ground. Well, it's real hard work out here in Montana driving them tractors and opening and closing all them gates, and you know, you ain't really got nothing better to do except for doom scroll, check out the day's list of slop AI and conspiracy theories. And I just finished doing all of that and got home, kicked my boots off, and decided to have me a little, smoke break, take a trip and never leave the farm. And I set my smoke down just a minute while I went back to check and see what was all the ruckus in the chicken coop. And that's when Leroy said he saw it happen. He said he saw the meteorite hit my house. Went out back to check the chickens, and that's when Leroy said he saw the meteorite. He said he saw it hit my house. Next thing I knew, the whole house is on fire, and I couldn't even go finish my smoke. Ain't that right, Leroy? Yeah. I reckon that's pretty much how it happened. Uh-huh. Yep. Pity, too. I ain't never seen a man's house burned down because of a meteorite before, and I don't know what the insurance gonna call it. Act of nature or an act of God. Either way, it's a damn shame. If we could go out to space, it'd be even colder than my freezer. And if we could get a meteorite, it'd be even colder than this ice. So let's go ahead and use some ice to bust this next myth. So let's take this meteorite and let's simulate it entering Earth's atmosphere. All right, let's give it a good long entry burn. She's coming in hot. She's burning through the atmosphere. Burning, 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 burning. Melting, ablating, and burning. And boom. It lands on the prairie. Is it hot? Is it hot all the way through? No, it's not. The inside is still cold as ice. The outside ablated and got a rounded shape. It lost a little bit of weight, but the inside is still cold. The inside is completely unmelted. Can we please call that debunked, please? Meteorites are not hot when they hit the Earth. In fact, some of them are still freezing cold inside. Myth number 3. Meteor showers result in meteorites on the ground. No, really. I went out and watched the meteor shower last night, and I swear I saw one just land right over the hill. It's probably in your backyard somewhere.
Would you like for me to come over? We can go look for it together. What do you think? Yeah, that should work for me. I'll need to drop Trudy off at the, the doggy daycare first. And then I think that we should go find it. I mean, it was spectacular, wasn't it? I'm so glad I didn't sleep through it. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Meteor showers are the result of the Earth passing through a dirty spot in space left by a comet passing by. That dirty spot in space looks a little something like this. Little tiny things. Just little tiny debris floating out in space that the Earth passes through. So small that they burn up before they even hit the Earth's surface. So small they just can't even survive the excruciating burn through the atmosphere. Tiny little particles that can't survive the burn through our atmosphere. And if there were one or two or maybe even 3 rocks associated with that meteor shower that were big enough to make it through Earth's atmosphere and hit the ground, you probably didn't see it land, because meteorites go through burning flight, the part that you can see, the light in the sky that you see, and then they go through dark flight. They actually slow enough in our Earth's atmosphere to stop visibly burning, but they continue to fly through the air in what's known as dark flight, invisible flight, when they're no longer burning. They can go for miles in dark flight before they hit the ground. And so if you see a light that lands behind a hill, there's a good chance that that never hit the ground, or if it did, it didn't hit where you saw it hit. It continued beyond. Our perspective can play tricks on our eyes and make us think that we saw exactly where the meteorite landed, if it did in fact land, but there's a good chance that it's not accurate. Triangulation, 1, 2, or 3 or more spots visually seeing a meteorite can help us narrow down exactly where it was. One person seeing it, it's really hard, it's really tricky to get a real good diagnosis of where it may have landed if it did in fact land. So meteor shower equals meteorites. That smells like debunked. Freshly debunked. It's for everyone. What's that smell? Debunked. It's for everyone. I do commend you, though, for your zest, your curiosity, and your enthusiasm. If you want to go meteorite hunting after a meteor shower, you go for it. Just please don't set your expectations too high. Myth number 4. If I find a meteorite, I can sell it for tons of money and I'll be rich beyond my wildest dreams. Well, me and my homies, we were out ripping it up on our bikes, and we've been on this trail like a billion times, man. And then just this one day there was this rock there, and it looked like really odd, so we picked it up. And then I got this book, Gemstone, and it says right there, beginner instructions, professional results. And then I got this book, and it says collecting rocks, gems, and minerals, identification, and values. And now I'm an expert, and I know that I found, backed up by AI identification, Google confirmed, I found a Martian lunar, palisite, chondrite, brecciated impactite. It's pretty rare. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I checked out the value, right? And it's pretty rare. So, I mean, I could probably let it go for like 7 mil, you know? I mean, I did some Google researching, and so I'm pretty sure that the value, the market value, fair market value for my very rare and unique rock is at least 7 mil, at least. Deal, bro. I will give you 7 million emergency googly eyes to stick all over in inappropriate places. Dude, that's sort of not funny. Like, what's the matter with you? Why won't you confirm my discovery? You probably just want to take credit for it for yourself, huh? Whoa, dude. Don't get so upset. Bro, you being serious right now? I thought you were kidding. Did you, like, ask Google what other kind of rocks it could be, or did you just compare it to meteorites? Dude, why would I compare it to other Earth rocks that I might find in this area? Dude, Google said it was a meteorite, so I compared it to other meteorites. And only other meteorites. And that's how I determined that it's very rare and that it's worth, $7 billion. Thanks, Google. Thanks, Google. So unfortunately, I don't have any neat science experiments to demonstrate this. All I can do is tell you that the people that I know who have found real meteorites are just like you and me. They put their pants on one leg at a time. They do exactly the same things we do. They eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're normal people. They have budgets and incomes just like the rest of us. Some of us are very successful lawyers and doctors and attorneys who have, very fancy houses and considerably large income. And then others are like me, who are literally scraping together this month's bills and hoping to pay next month's bills. So, a really good example that I like to use a lot is my friend Steven, who found the Barnstable meteorite after 10 years of looking for it. He's definitely not rich because of his find. And it was a really big find, and it's a really significant find. It's only the second one for his state. So, all of those things that drive the price of a meteorite up are there with his find, and yet he's not. It costs money to classify a meteorite. You find it, you really do need to classify it before you sell it. So he's in at that expense, and then if you find a big meteorite, barely anybody has the budget for something like that unless you chop it up into little pieces and sell it. And so there's a lot of work and decisions and work and money and expenses and things that go into prepping a meteorite for sale and getting it to market and getting it sold that are a lot easier said than done. And just because you find a meteorite does not mean that you won the lottery or that you're going to be rich. You will probably still be living your day-to-day life the same way that you are now, at least for the next year or more while it's in classification, if not longer, if not forever. It may not be life-changing, and you should know that if you're going to dedicate a large portion of your time and efforts and energies into learning about meteorites and hunting for meteorites. There are known strewn fields where you can go find meteorites that really aren't all that valuable, and you can search for decades and decades and find something that is new to science, new to the market, and it's just so unlikely that you'll find something that's going to make you overnight rich and famous. So please don't hope and dream that and find rocks and try to advertise them for sale when they're not properly identified and they're not properly valued. It's awful. And with all of the AI and the Google and stuff that is available today, people are more confident than ever that they're Earth rocks or meteorites. And There's a lot of bad information on the internet, and it's easy to find, and it's really easy to compare your rock to a bad example and be very misled. So please reach out to some experts, and be sure before you put it up for sale, and be sure before you quit your job that it is in fact a meteorite, and that it is in fact worth anything at all. Some meteorites are worth, as little as 33 cents a gram, and some are worth $33 a gram. But more often than not, we're talking 33 cents a gram to top $3.33 a gram. That is the realistic market value for something that you're probably, if you are going to find something that you're probably going to find. So just be aware of that. Let's not put the cart before the horse and be assuming that Google and AI have identified real meteorites. Let's leave that to the lab. That's what the lab is for. Myth number 5. Finally, thanks for hanging in there. Myth number 5. Meteorites and impactites have special healing powers. But on the flip side, bonus myth, meteorites can make you sick. Have you guys never tried this? Seriously. Moldavite in your water. I went to this really groovy rock convention the other day, and there were all kinds of people there trying to get in touch with their inner creatures and open their third eye and align their chakras. And I'm telling you that this is the most powerful way to do all of that. Whoa. It's so powerful. Let's do it again. Whoa.
911, what is the nature of your emergency?
I think we're gonna need a hazmat team or a chemical crew or something here real fast, because I think a meteorite just came through my roof and landed on my floor, and I really don't want to get infected with the alien illness. Yeah, the sickness. Yeah. Send someone fast. Do I have on my tinfoil hat? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not taking any chances. No, really. Julie said he touched it, and that the next day he was so not the same. Like, she's pretty sure that she saw, like, that nictitating membrane, that thing that the lizards have. She was pretty sure she saw that, yeah. I know, he's been acting really weird. Yeah. I think so. Like, totally alien infected. Like, totally. Dude, seriously? All of the slop AI accounts and the conspiracy theorists are talking about this alien sickness, so I just be over here popping this crap like it's Alka-Seltzer. Mark me safe from the alien sickness today. Oh! Hopefully we can call this myth busted and debunked. Okay, so seriously though, if you believe that rocks have, healing powers, or that they make you well or bring you luck, or, if rocks just make you happy, you know what? That's okay with me. It really is. Do be careful with things like putting rocks and minerals in your drinks and things like that. I obviously don't think that's a good idea. There's plenty of minerals in the water you drink. You don't need to be putting weird stuff in your drinks. So, but there literally are people out there who believe things like that. And again, I'm not knocking anybody for their beliefs. If you find benefit in any of your beliefs about rocks or meteorites or impactites or tektites, then benefit it up. Is a good for you. And I do truly mean that. However, on the flip side of this 5th myth that I bring up to you this day is that meteorites can have alien sickness. I kind of, ran through some skits there where somebody was calling 911 and reporting a meteorite and afraid. It's honestly happened. These are real situations. I'm not just, I'm not just making this stuff up all by myself. Honestly, I'm not that creative. So I would hope that through some of the science that I've provided you in this video about meteorites being hot when they land on the ground, about meteorites being radioactive in particular, I would hope that I've proved enough through my scientific process that meteorites are not going to make you sick. Yeah, I don't have a neat scientific experiment to show you that meteorites don't make you sick, except if I could, I'd show you my nictitating membrane. But I drank too much moldavite water and now I can't. So anyway, I know this was really silly, but I hope that it was also very scientific. I hope that you guys have learned from the silliness comes real life situations. The silly things I reenacted are reenactments of real life situations. And I'm not mocking or making fun of anybody. Obviously, their fears and misunderstandings come from lack of good education. So let's get this 5 meteorite myths that I wish would burn up upon re-entry into my news feed and my inbox. Let's get this spread out to people who have questions and just need to hear this information for one reason or another. So yeah, there's a lot of bad info out there. It's so easy to find. Hopefully you found this to be good info, and I think without further ado that I would love nothing more than to be rid of some of these myths once and for all. May you crash and burn. Thank you guys so much for watching today. In a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind of a rock hound.